Hey beautiful souls, what's up? I'm so excited to be back on YouTube. It has been a while, but I really want to get back into the swing of things. Today we will be doing a 2023 pick a pile reading. As you can see here, we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'm hoping to touch base on everything you can think of between careers, personal relationships, romance, but we're going to see how this goes. I haven't obviously shuffled the tarot cards yet because I have 3 different decks here, but I do have pre-shuffled oracle cards and other things to supplement the reading once we get into it. So down below there should be a link to go to the pile you pick. I recommend taking a few seconds here, pausing the video to really pick whatever one you're drawn to. Obviously this is pile 1. Pile 2 and pile 3. I don't want to take too much longer because this will be kind of a heavy reading. And at the end, I do have some charms. The camera quality is kind of too close for this, but I will be pulling charms, and that is an idea I got from Charmed Intuition, who I absolutely adore and love. So I'm really excited to try implementing that into this video today. So yeah, take a few seconds here, try and figure out what pile you're feeling, and go down below and go to your pile directly if you want. Alright, pile 1, if you picked this big selenite crystal that I like to call my dragon tail stone, if you know what that is, and if you don't, I'm already feeling too old. We have let me remind myself of what this is. We have the Spirit Song Tarot deck today. I haven't used this deck in a really long time, so I'm excited to get back into this one, especially because this one is so nature-oriented. And I might have to consult the guidebook for this deck just to triple check about certain things, but we will see. I do have the pre-shuffled cards over here, and I'm sorry if my camera shakes a little bit at all, which I will be getting into once I kind of get the meat of this reading through the tarot cards. So, pile 1, what can you guys expect from 2023? We already have a lot of cards coming out. Okay, so we have the 2 of Feathers, which says decisions and direction. We have the 2 of Shells, which says union or harmony. Lots of 2s. Maybe put it like this, you can see it a little better. We have the 3 of Acorns, which says foresight and exploration with the giraffe. We have 3 more cards over here. We have in reverse the Queen of Shells, which says peace and compassion. Then we have the Page of Acorns in reverse, which says discovery and enthusiasm. And finally, we have the 5 of Feathers in reverse that says strategy and resilience. So, pile 1, the number one thing I want to say about 2023 for you is, okay, I'm getting two very different messages here. The first one I want to say is there is a lot of maybe feeling lost in the beginning of this portion of the year. I keep seeing, like, from now to June, there could be a lack of strategy or enthusiasm about where you are in your life, perhaps not feeling very at peace with yourself or compassionate towards yourself with your situation. There's just this energy of not being exactly happy about where you are, and I think it has to do with wanting to discover a new path, wanting to discover a new way of living or what makes you happy, and just never really getting to that core of like what that truly is for you. And therefore there's a lack of feeling like you're knowing what you're doing with your life. You don't really have anything planned. Like, it just kind of feels like moving through the motions and not being exactly happy about it. However, with the 2 of Feathers here, this talks about direction, decisions, 3 Acorns that says exploration and foresight. I really do feel like starting in the summertime, that's why I feel like around June into July is when this is going to be very important for you. There's going to be an exploration happening, and no, I don't think that this means travel. This feels like an inner exploration about things that bring you joy, to find that new direction, to find that new decision about what you want to do. And I feel like it's going to be happening in kind of smaller steps or smaller portions. And to me, this means taking a class, applying for something like a grad program or something along those lines, where it's like a step in the right direction, even if you're not 100% starting it during the summertime. So let me say that again. I don't think that you're going to be 100% deep diving into something new in the summer, but I feel like there's something in the works or the progression towards it where you're exploring your interests or you're exploring new paths after a period of being really hard on yourself and feeling disconnected from yourself about what you want to do. And something that could be very important with the 2 of Shells here, there's a lot of, if you see here, it's kind of like the lovebirds energy. either you're in a relationship or you're not. And I feel like with the Two of Shells, this also seems to be a very important factor that's in connection to having that confidence to explore. Perhaps this means you enter a relationship around that time in June or July, or if you are in a stable relationship as of now, I feel like this is confirmation that this is going to continue to be harmonious. The two of you might get closer. That Union card kind of indicates to me that if you already are in a relationship, this could mean engagement or becoming even more serious with each other. And that kind of giving you the confidence or the security to explore yourself and what you want to do, because you have this kind of backbone relationship where it's like, I'm having this confidence because my partner is helping me figure out what I want or what I like, and they're supportive of it, like that kind of energy that is just connected to moving along in that connection, because it just feels like a deepening of some sort of connection that's already there. So pile one, I want to say again, I would be surprised if you aren't in a relationship yet, but it could very well be that around June or July, that's when a very significant relationship or connection comes in that kind of helps aid that more happy feeling or more excited feeling about what's to come. I kind of want to start pulling some of the cards here. We have okay. This is from my Jane Austen Oracle Tarot deck, and it's so gorgeous. I use this card all the time. If you follow me, I probably overuse it at this point. But this card is all about hard work. And honestly, with all the books being stacked up, you can even take this as perhaps 2023 is going to be your learning. So maybe this is you going back to school or in preparation to take a big test to be certified for something for your career path that makes you passionate or happy or excited. Or if you look at it this way, because this is a general reading, so take what resonates. Some of you could just be deep diving into getting reading as a new passion or hobby, getting a library card, going to your local bookstore more, or perhaps even just buying a Kindle. There's something going on there where reading and or studying is going to be very significant for your path in 2023, and moving forward with that with pride and enthusiasm, because I just want to stress that like this again feels like in the later half of 2023. So summer into the winter, so December of this year, this is when this is going to be in full effect, I believe. And I think it's going to be very, I want to say, I think this is more career oriented than hobby, but again, this is going to resonate for everyone differently. It just feels like you're growing upon and you're stacking upon something that was kind of already there, or a hatching idea, and you're finally moving forward with it and getting more comfortable. We also have I feel like we're on a topic of career, I do have two career cards here. We have Infinite Abundance. It says you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Ooh, okay. We have Counseling, which says you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So perhaps some of you watching this, again, some of you, could have your degree already in psychology, and perhaps this year you finally have the oomph to kind of move forward with your path, maybe get your master's so you can be like an independent therapist, or kind of further your education and kind of your career status and find more of your passion in helping others with kind words, wise advice, empathetic ear. And if you're not in that realm of work, perhaps this is saying that for some reason you may benefit from going to counseling that will help you figure out what you want to do moving forward. So I would take that as either or. Sometimes this card to me also indicates just talking it out with other people that you trust and love when it comes to your career. So perhaps if you're feeling lost and there's someone that you trust and love in your family or friendships, maybe even that partner, like I saw, like romantic partner, they could be helping you figure out what you want. And the Infinite Abundance card is, of course, like I said, it's fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Just expect 2023 to be a year of feeling very abundant after that kind of rough start I see happening here. There is this energy here of no matter what you go after or no matter what you do, you're going to have what you need. You're going to get what you need. This is never going to be about like struggling too much. And perhaps this also can indicate for where you are now, although you're unhappy with things, maybe you're feeling disconnected from yourself or what makes you passionate, you still have what you need to move forward. So I never really see a struggle of resources or time management or anything like that where it's out of control. It's just like you have what you need. It's just fine printing or fine tuning that kind of process of what you want to do. So there's just a lot of self-growth here in terms of figuring out what makes you tick. But I want to say it's definitely connected to career. Now, the other cards I have here, I want to pull them out real quick. I have this one from my spirit animal deck, and it says, okay, we have the manatee. It says, accept the situation as it is rather than trying to fight it. So 2023 could just be about working through what you have already for you, kind of that abundance thing I was just saying, where it's like, you have what you need and you have the resources to go after what you want once you figure that out. So you kind of just need to go through the motion. If you think of a manatee, I guess they just kind of like float around. And I think you just need to accept where you are rather than beating yourself up for where you are, if that makes sense, and working through it. Instead of trying to fight it or try to go against it, I think you just need to work with what you got and go along with that to explore your options. Like you can't go back and change your, if you already have your degree, you can't go back and change what degree you got in your bachelor's, or if you only got your associates versus your bachelor's, or maybe you didn't go to college at all, or you regret going to your college that you chose, or you regret going to your work that you chose, or your company that you're working for. Like there's this energy here of realizing that like it is what it is, and I think moving forward there's going to be a lot of acceptance about that, feeling a lot more confident about where you are, and rather than feeling lost or disconnected or upset with yourself for doing what you did, you're going to go through and just explore new options. The other cards we have here that could be very important overall, we have the air card. So a lot of you could be air signs, and air signs are Aquarius, we have Libra, and Gemini. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on that? Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So I feel like a lot of this could be air sign related, and that again could be in major placements. So although you're not a sun, moon, or rising in air, perhaps pile one, you have it in your Mercury or your Mars or Venus. There's something going on there with air signs. But yeah, this is open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. There's that learning card again. There's something going on with your career where you're moving forward with it, I believe, going back to this here, where there's just going to be a lot of learning, a lot of, deepening of knowledge to gain something. That's why I feel like it's a certification or a new degree or something along those lines, where you're just going to be learning and having more of that open mind about your path, and having that objectivity. I guess you could say like goals and stuff. Okay, and the other one we have here is House 3, which is all about early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. Okay, so what this is telling me for 2023, Pio 1, that early learning. Okay, some of this could be counseling in regards to working with children or family. That early learning kind of triggers like early childhood stuff for me. Perhaps that's what your new goal is with your career path. Or the early learning could signify that perhaps this is something new that you're learning to gain knowledge, to get that degree or certification. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but that's just what I'm feeling. But the rational mind is kind of what's really, bringing me to this reading, is the rational mind part, where that's what I feel like a lot of what's happening here. Rather than fighting or wanting to go back and change the situation, you're accepting it. You're having that rational mind or rational thinking to get you through the year and go after and explore what you want. Rather than moping and feeling disconnected from yourself, you have this kind of urge around June to move forward with your situation and to expand upon what you already have going on. Now, communication is also interesting to me, because maybe some of you guys are in the communications field. Maybe you are in marketing or journalism, or I don't even know. Maybe that could be like graphic design even. I know that's more creative arts, but there's something going on here where you're going to be switching from more of that communication realm to maybe psychology and counseling, maybe to do with mental health studies or something like that. But if that's not resonating, maybe communication is talking about this thing with the Two of Shells card, which is all about harmony with another person and union. So maybe, oh my gosh, sorry, something on my desk fell, but maybe something between you and a partner gets communicated more in 2023. There's more open, honest communication that leads to that more stable connection that I was sensing. And I want to say childhood relations is super interesting too, because I think perhaps in 2023, Pile 1, some of you guys could be connecting with childhood connections. Maybe this is somebody you grew up with. Or maybe what you're going after with your career has to do with what you originally thought you wanted to do as a child. There could be a lot of reconnecting with childhood dreams, childhood friends, or people you grew up with, even if it's just acquaintances. There's just a lot of reconnecting with what you wanted before in order to expand upon and explore what you want now, and kind of connecting that to have that more open-mindedness to learn and have new objectives and goals. So for example, let's say like when you were a child, you always wanted to maybe help other people. Maybe if you literally didn't say, I want to be a therapist, because I don't know what kid actually says that. But maybe you wanted to help people and you never really knew what that was. And now as you go into 2023, you want to expand upon that and go into psychology, counseling, maybe even the social sciences or health and human development. There's just something going on there where you're going to be kind of reconnecting with that part of your life. And I think that that's the most important thing to note here. And I don't know, like I think this is interesting too if you look at the card art. This is a newer deck for me, so I haven't really looked at a lot of them too in depth, but like we have the air imagery here with the mountains and the sky and everything. If you look in the background here, it's the same thing for the house 3 card. That's the mountains with the sky, and then there's 2 birds on a tree, which if you think about this is also interesting for the 2 of shells card. There's 2 birds, 2 birds. So maybe if you are single, I want to put this out there, 2023 Pile 1, if you are single, maybe this is communication with somebody who was a part of your childhood. Maybe you had a crush on them in your childhood, you guys reconnect, and there's this energy here where you like get a lot of inspiration from this person, and maybe even start dating them. There's this kind of energy there where it's very back and forth, it's very chit-chatty, it's very like that communication is deepening. Maybe for some of you, if you are in a relationship already, Pile 1, this is just a connection or confirmation that the person you're with, you've been with them for a while. So like I would not be surprised if this is somebody you've been with since middle school, high school, you've known them since that time and you've started dating like 2 years ago or something. Like there's just energy there of being with someone since high school, maybe that like lovebird kind of energy or connection with them. And because I'm kind of talking about love, I do have 2 cards here that I pre-shuffled. Let's see what they have. Yep. We have engagement, and the other one is romantic feelings. So the engagement card says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, and the romantic feelings one says your feelings are real and worth exploring. So I'm telling you, people, Pile 1, whoever's seeing this, if you are with somebody from high school or you've been together for a while, either you guys get engaged in the summertime or you start heavily talking about it so you're on the same page for when it does eventually happen. There's just this really heavy union, stability, connection going on here that I think is really important to note. There's just a higher level of commitment, higher level of understanding of one another, the support, the backbone, all that is amazing for you guys in 2023. If you're single, kind of building upon that energy where you might be reconnecting someone from your childhood, there's something going on here around June, July, or maybe even August where this new person's going to come in and the feelings you have for them are very real and worth exploring. This is confirmation from Spirit that this is going to turn into an official relationship with this person, and that your feelings are probably reciprocated by the other, and things are going to work in a positive way. And I want to know, I keep seeing the letters M for this, so maybe some of you, your name starts with M, maybe your last name starts with M, or the person you reconnect with starts with M, but I keep seeing M, and I also see I, and I also am seeing J, but I will be using the charms in a little bit to kind of pull things, and you could reconnect with the charms in any fashion or sort of this reading. If there's this portion of this reading that you feel connects with the charms, I will go over that when I do it. But yeah, there is something going on here with love in 2023 that is going to be worth exploring. It's real, and there's going to be deepening of an established one if you are in a relationship and entering an engagement, or heavily talking about when to get engaged or when to expect it if you're trying to be more objective or rational with a timeline of things. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's see what the other cards here are. We have these are interesting cards. We have the Sunshine Yellow Dragon, which says helps you to help animals, serve animals, help or heal, respect, and understand them. So for 2023, Pile 1, some of you guys could be getting a pet this year. If you already have pets, maybe there's something going on here, not to give you anxiety or anything, but a deepening connection with the pet because of maybe some need to heal them or work through some issues with them. Or I want to point this out, Pile 1, maybe some of you have a childhood pet that you have to revisit before they need to pass on. There's something going on there where maybe there's this energy of reconnecting with them in order to heal and respect their time with you and everything. So keep that in mind. There is this element here in 2023 about needing to reconnect with animals and be with animals. I also think that's so interesting that there's birds on this card too. There's a lot of bird imagery in your deck here, for sure, which I think is interesting. But I mean, we have a lot of animals going on here with the Spirit Song Tarot. But, I think that's also interesting, I guess, with the Spirit Song Tarot that you guys got the animal cards. So maybe animals in general could just be a huge impact for you in 2023. Keep that in the back of your mind. This doesn't feel like it's on the forefront of things, but it very well is an important theme to some extent, so keep that in mind. Okay, and the other card we have here is Tower, unplug, and relax for a spell. So, with everything going on here, especially I feel like this is for the early half of the year when you're just feeling really disconnected, Spirit wants you to unplug, which to me means get off social media every day, stop scrolling for hours upon hours when you could be doing more productive things, stop looking for validation through others online, and relax. So as you see in this card art, this author from Believe in Your Own Magic, or I think that's what it is having somebody do yoga and stretching. So, and drinking tea. And they have rose quartz towers here. So I feel like Pile 1, this is a suggestion from Spirit in 2023 to really focus on unplugging, getting off your phone so much, and relaxing as much as you can. And prioritizing relaxing. To me, that means maybe at the end of the day, putting a time limit on your phone, putting your phone down at certain times, like if it's 8 o'clock, time to shut it down and move forward with your day, maybe do some yoga, do some stretching, and try not to touch your phone again until the next morning or whenever you find it appropriate. So I really think that this is important for the beginning half of the year, for those who feel like they're struggling right now to feel connected to themselves. It could be because you're too much online, you're too focused online, too focused on what other people are thinking or doing, and you're trying to compare your life to theirs, and that's kind of like the thief is, comparison is the thief of joy. I'm pretty sure that's what people say, and I think that that's what this is trying to say. In connection to this, your self-care card, interesting, your self-care card for 2023 is dance. So you could take this literally, where you could be enrolling in a dance class, and maybe that's part of like finding your whole kind of hobby, finding like that passion project or on the side, to relieve energy or anything like that. So like you could be joining like a ballet dance class, a hip-hop dance class, something that's structured with other adults or people your age, and really finding that healing and a positive outlet. Or this card can suggest dancing when you feel the need to. So if this means dancing in your room by yourself, dancing with your partner in the kitchen, dancing with friends when you go out to drink or have dinner, or like anything like that where it's appropriate to be dancing, or like you want to dance in your car when you're driving alone, like whatever it is, dance. Keep this in mind for everything, because this one just feels right for you, Pile 1. And that's why I feel like it's more like a hip-hop-y dance. Like it's like, I don't know. I would love to know from you guys how that resonates with you. But basically, just to kind of sum up everything for 2023, feeling some sort of disconnect with yourself from now until June, perhaps, on what you want to do, not feeling enthusiastic about what you're at in life, even though you have everything you technically need to kind of survive and be content and be happy, or just that you have that disconnect. And rather than trying to fight the situation about maybe past mistakes that led you here, past actions that led you here, and you view it as mistakes, you work through it. And I think that around June or July, there could be a relationship that whether you're in a relationship enters an engagement phase, or talking heavily about being engaged and moving to the next portion of your life, or maybe reconnecting with somebody that you knew from high school, reconnecting with somebody you knew from your childhood, and gaining romantic feelings for them and entering a really serious situation with them that is very mutual. And I think moving forward, you're going to be working on something over the summer that leads to more learning, whether that is applying for grad school, applying for a certification class, applying for something that you are furthering your education, even if you never really thought yourself going into that area, and feeling inspired to do it through the backbone and security of the romantic relationship. And again, I feel like for a lot of you, this could be psychology, counseling, or social sciences, or health and human development. There's something going on there where it has to do with maybe childhood. Maybe you want to be a child therapist, a family therapist, or something along those lines, where you want to activate something and work on something in the early years of somebody's life and try and help them. And something about animals is going to be really, really important. That needs to be rationalized this year and needs to have clear, open, honest communication in order to move forward. And maybe that is about a pet you already have. Maybe this is getting a pet, or maybe saying goodbye to a childhood pet and working through the mourning process of this a little bit. I keep hearing November for this one. I don't know. I don't know about that. So I'm just November. I'm going to throw that out there. And there needs to be, in the beginning half of the year, a lot more unplugging, a lot of getting off social media or online, because I just feel like you're comparing yourself to other people too much, and that's causing that disconnect to kind of divide even further. Okay, Pile 1. And some sort of dance is going to be extremely important for you in 2023, whether that is you taking a dance class or literally just letting loose in your room or whatever you feel comfortable doing, and having fun with it and letting your body move in that way for self-care in 2023. So, Pile 1, I am going to draw some charms for you. And again, this idea is directly from Charmed Intuition, and I will tag her in the comment section below. I absolutely love Charmed Intuition. Before I started doing tarot readings like 3 years ago, I used to watch her stuff all the time. I've been wanting to do charms for a while, but I just finally got to the point where I feel comfortable doing it. So I'm gonna, whatever lands in here, we're gonna be looking at it. Oh, sorry, I just hit my camera, so I might fall. Oh my goodness. We had this one come out, and then this one. Okay, see if I can get more. All right, see if I can get one more. Okay, we got 2 numbers. So I hope you guys can see this the way I'm seeing it. Try to focus in my camera. Okay, so we have the E card, not E card. We have E, we have K. We actually have 2 Ks. Interesting. 2 Ks. We have the heart. We have V, and oh, we have 2 hearts. Okay, Pile 1. There's definitely a deepening connection here, because look. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a ring. This is a vintage ring I put in here. Hello, engagement. There's something going on here, Pile 1, where there's going to be some sort of relationship coming in, or literal engagement, or talking of engagement. We have the B. We also have Y. Okay, so maybe some of those are important initials or letters for the things that will be happening in your life. I want to make sure. Oh, and we have R. So we have B, Y, 2 Ks, V, R, and E. Maybe that is your initial, or the person that you're going to be getting into a relationship with, or already are in a relationship with. And over here, we actually have the heart charm. And this one for me, if you can see here, it's kind of braided. It's very interesting. The braided of this heart always reminds me of being super intertwined. So, Pile 1, again, would be super surprised if this isn't a super serious long-term connection that you're in, a relationship that you're in that enters engagement. Or this further confirms to me, Pile 1, that maybe there is somebody that you have known forever, whether it is from childhood, and you reconnect with them, and that's why you're so intertwined with them. Because I don't think it's somebody that you dated before, but I could be wrong. It's just finally being with each other and finally working through that kind of feeling that you've already always had for one another. And I want to say too here, we have the 50 and 80. I think that's really interesting. I don't know what this has to do with, you guys. Sometimes when I get these bigger numbers, it has to do with something that isn't necessarily a date, obviously, because there are no days that are like July 50th. But maybe keep this in mind. This could be important for somebody's age in your life, like a family member, something that you celebrate, or just keep it in mind for 2023. This one here, I have a meaning associated with every key charm in here, and you guys have the flower key charm. And the flower key charm to me always signifies a blossoming, a blooming, a new version of yourself unlocked. So this isn't necessarily about confidence. this charm is always about feeling like you're turning into a whole new person, which makes sense with the whole, like the outlook for this reading for you guys is like that turning of a new leaf, starting over, in the sense that you're exploring new options. You kind of unlocked a new version of yourself and you're excited to do it. Now this here, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the top of an acorn, and when I added this to my charm bowl, I really wanted this to signify things being kind of surface level. So perhaps the issue that you're facing in the beginning half of 2023 is feeling like the work that you're doing is surface level. That could be why there's this disconnect from yourself, a disconnect from feeling happy with your work, or disconnect from feeling fulfilled even from your work, and just not knowing what you really want to do and not knowing how to move forward with it. And that's why that surface levelness is important, because it's going to be helping you unlock a new version of yourself. Okay, pile one. I'm really excited for you. This is honestly a really cool reading, and I'm really glad that yours is the one I started this off with, because it's so refreshing to see. I don't know. I'm excited for you guys. Maybe if you look at it this way too, it could just be 8 rather than 80, or I don't know. But I really hope that this resonated with you guys. There's definitely this romantic relationship that is so intertwined, and I would love to hear from you if this is resonating, or you have an idea of what this could be. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. All of that will be listed below, and personal readings are open. They're always open. So you can just go on my website and book whenever, and I always give update through emails on when to expect your reading. And I do the vintage tarot readings where I do it on a 1970s typewriter. It's so much fun. Wax sealed and mailed to you. It's a whole experience, and I would love to do one of those for you as well. If not, I can't wait to do this again, and I'll see you next video. Alright, hey Pile 2, this is your 2023 year ahead overview general reading. We will be seeing what's going on here. I do want to apologize if I hit my camera stand and make the camera shake a little bit. Not my best setup ever, but it gives a clear view of what I got going on here. So I just want to apologize for any shakiness that could be happening. Yeah, so we're going to get kind of the meat of the situation, a general overview of 2023, and then I will be pulling my oracle cards that I have pre-shuffled to the side here, and we'll be looking at those together. Okay. Oh my gosh, so much wand energy here. You guys probably have a heavy fire dominant chart, because, oh wow. Let me get a few more here to see what else is happening in 2023 for you guys. We have that, we have this. Ooh, I'm gonna pull one more. Okay, interesting. We have the Chariot, we have the Page of Pentacles upright, we have the, what am I blanking on, the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands upright, and the Ten of Wands upright. So, there is a lot happening for you in 2023, and I think it has to do a lot with passion projects, some kind of career opportunity, something going on here where you are going after it, and you are going after it full force to the point where it could be a little overwhelming. There could be a lot riding on your shoulders, just a lot of stress. There could be some traveling going on here in connection to all this, or just in general. Maybe some abroad traveling, study abroad, or maybe going to travel for work, or just on vacations, multiple maybe, and just being really, really excited and how this kind of pushes you to be even more excited about the opportunities in your life. There is something going on here though where, despite how fast moving everything else is and how positive it is, they're slow moving. There's baby steps going on here, and for some reason I think that this one is connected to a romance. We will see what the oracle cards have to say, because I do have 2 romance cards pre-shuffled that I haven't really looked at 100%. But there's just this energy here of being very excited, putting yourself out there, being adventurous, and not being afraid to go after what you want, because there's a lot of hard work being put into it, but I feel like you're the one kind of presenting it to other people. So maybe you're pitching ideas, there's some kind of project you're working on, or maybe you're running your own small business and you're putting it out there on social media. But there's just a lot of creativity happening in 2023. And the Chariot shows a lot of emotional maturing going on, things going in the direction that you want, it kind of working. But again, I can't stress enough how, although it's going really well for you, there's a lot riding on you. There's a lot riding on your success. There's a lot riding on your your passion project or just being successful, and you put a lot of stress and strain on yourself. So I'm surprised that there isn't more of a nudge here to take care of yourself physically, because there could be moments of feeling a little bit run down with maybe there's traveling going on, so there's just a lot going on. I want to grab, sorry, that was kind of loud. I want to grab your cards over here to see what they have to say. We have, yeah, okay, so we have this card, and this is from the Jane Austen deck. I believe this is the Three of Clubs. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, but I know that this card is talking about preparedness. So if there's anything I need to say about 2023 is you are prepared for what is coming, and maybe that's why there isn't a need to be like, oh, take care of yourself, because you know what to do. Although it's very stressful and there's a lot going on your plate, you have it down. You know what you're doing. You know how to play the strings. You know how to get what you want from this year and what you want to go after. And there isn't a lot of hesitation and there isn't a lot of doubt. I'm not saying that you are full of confidence, but you are full of creativity and passion and drive that it kind of overshadows any kind of insecurities that could be there about what you want to do. So there's just a lot going on here and needing to feel just on top of things and being prepared and working hard towards your goals and your dreams and your assets. There's a reason why I say assets. There could be some kind of thing that you want to get this year, whether it is an apartment, a house, whether this is a physical business location. There's something going on here where you want something and you're prepared to work very hard for it. There is no hesitation. And I kind of want to pull my career cards here just to see what they have to say. In this one, we'll see. Okay, interesting. We have the dragons. It says slay them all. So perhaps if people have doubted you before, maybe this isn't your first time going at it, but there's something going on here where you are going to get everything that you want and you are going to work damn hard for it. You are not afraid to go after what it is that you want, and you will get it. Like, some people might be afraid to do what you're doing because it means putting yourself out there. It means working extra hours, working long hours, making yourself uncomfortable, but you do it anyway, and you're prepared to do it. Like, that's the one thing I will say. You're prepared to do it, and you're prepared to do all that you want to do in 2023. The career cards we have here are leadership, which says take charge of the situation, which that energy is insane to me, because we have, if you look here on the card art in the background of this one, there's a castle, and what do we have here? A castle with dragons. So I just think that that's really nuts. It's kind of nutty. I love that. And the other one we have here is justice. So some of you could be working in the justice field. Perhaps this is I don't know, criminology, criminal justice, maybe this is law, maybe you want to go to law school, or you're in the works, you're already in law school, you're working through it, but there is this energy here where you are trying to take charge, and that's why I feel like I would not be surprised if some of you were the leader of your own business. Like, you own something, you're in charge of it, you're leading some kind of big project or opportunity. There's something going on here where you are just in charge and fully embracing it, and you're doing a damn good job of it, and maybe that's why there's so much pressure on your shoulders. There's stress, and maybe this would make sense too if some of you guys are in law school, or you're trying to go to law school, or you're trying to finish your degree in preparation for law school. Like, I just keep hearing law. Again, could be something like criminology, perhaps cop, but there's some, I really think it's law, whatever facet of law it is. You want to bring fairness and protection to other people with your help this year. And again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, because there's probably going to be a bunch of people watching this in picked pile too. So I just really feel like perhaps some of you own something, or you want to own something, and that's what you're working towards. You want to lead something. Maybe you want to be the boss of some kind of section of your work or company. And other people are maybe associated with law school, graduating from law school. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot that you're doing, and you handle it very well. I want to see what these cards have to say. Holy crap. We have the Golden Solar Dragon, which I have the dragon card for every deck here, so it's not that ironic that there's, obviously I knew I was going to have a dragon card, but the dragon slay them all is interesting. It says, help you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. That's nuts. I love that so much. Pile 2, you are becoming a leader of some sort. I have no idea what this is for you individually. It's going to vary for everyone. But wow, you are stepping up with wisdom and power and respect to become a leader of some sort. And that is your goal. You want to upgrade your life. You want to move up in the hierarchy maybe of some kind of work situation or whatever the case is, and you are prepared to do the work that is necessary. And you want to lead others. We also have the cat, I love in parentheses, it says domestic, cat domestic card, which says it's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. So, if anything you take away from this reading, Pile 2, you are becoming more independent than ever before. And maybe that's why there's something in connection to romance that you are just, 2023 is the year of you doing your own and not giving an absolute F about what other people are doing or saying, especially if you are single, you don't have a partner, you're doing it all on your own, and you are damn proud of that. Like, there is this energy here where you are just, you don't want to be dependent on other people anymore in 2023. You want to be your own person. You want to make your own money. You want to run your own thing. And that's what this year is all about for you, is working towards that goal and getting there. I do think a lot of you are going to see it, especially, I keep hearing August or September is when it's really going to be prominent for some of you. Like really, really late summer into early fall. That's when it's really going to be showing that you put in the work and you're seeing and you're reaping the rewards here. And that would make sense too with the relinquish your overdependency on others. If I said earlier, like, you want to have assets, so maybe you want to be in your own apartment finally, or you want to be in your own, you want to own your own home. There's just something about, you want to be, maybe you want to own your own first car or something. Like, there's something going on here where you are working towards that goal with dedication and strength, and just, you're gonna get it. Like, I can't stress that enough. Okay, so the 2 sections of your life, this is a newer deck for me, I'm excited about this one. 2 sections of your life that could be very, very important for 2023 is the moon. We have the moon card. It says satisfy emotional needs, nurture yourself and others. So I want to stress how much your spread is like this fiery, passionate side, whereas the moon card is a little bit more airy, not airy, but just like it's in the background for some reason, and it feels like very like this is like the core of what you're working towards, but the outside of you, the external version of you, is just super intense. Internally, you just want to satisfy your emotional needs and you want to nurture yourself. I don't know so much about others. I don't really think that that's your case, Pile 2. There's a lot of self-care here in the sense of really going after what you want, and not hesitating and not worrying about what other people are saying or thinking, because it really does not matter. And you know that already. So in 2023, you're trying to satisfy your emotional needs, and that is your way of nurturing yourself because you are going after what you want, and that is your fire. That's interesting. This is the most fiery pile, and you have the Cancer card, which also says nurture, comfort, and protection. So maybe you are a very sensitive person, Pile 2, and what you are doing, the hardcore, the extremes that you're going under in 2023, the stress you're putting on yourself, is so that you are the person nurturing and comforting yourself and not somebody else. You're not relying on parents or family. You're not relying on a friend. You're not relying on a romantic partner. You're doing this for you. This is a very, very, very independent and self-driven pile that I'm sensing here. And this is why I feel like the Cancer card is very important, because of how fiery everything else is. This is a reminder that internally, your basic theme for this year is just nurturing yourself, finding comfort, and you're protecting yourself. Everything that you're doing is in order to protect yourself from others. Owning your own house, owning your own apartment, living on your own. It's your way of proving that you can do it by yourself. You don't need to rely on others, but you also are somewhat shielding yourself from potential negativities that could happen or could occur from other people. So I think that's really interesting too. Also, if you think about it this way, the moon is directly linked to Cancer anyway. So maybe some of you are a Cancer. Maybe you have a Cancer moon, Pile 2, or maybe Cancer is just really prominent in your chart, or your moon is a fire sign, but maybe I really want to say your moon might be in Cancer, pile 2. So that's really interesting too, that the moon is represented by Cancer and vice versa, and they're together in your pile, which is kind of neat. So there's a lot going on there. The other 2 cards I have for you, pile 2, is romance. So we have release your ex. It says the time has come to clear your energy. And yep, we have free yourself. It says it's time to take back control of your life. So that doesn't sum up exactly what I was feeling. I don't know what does. So maybe some of you in 2023, if you are in a relationship, I hate to break it to you, but I really do think that there's going to be a separation of some sort where you are going to have to literally free yourself tooth and nail to get away from this person. I'm not trying to make you anxious, but there's this energy here of realizing that you can leave and you need to leave and you need to release this person in order to do your own thing and supply, like, to be with yourself or be by yourself and not rely on another person, but specifically with whoever you're with. And maybe for some of you going into 2023, you already are single. Maybe you did just break up with somebody in the last year. I keep feeling from the summer to winter, so maybe from June to December, you just broke up with someone in 2022. And throughout 2023, there's just going to be a lot of healing. There's going to be a lot of separation going on here. You're taking back control of your life, not having your life defined by another person anymore romantically, and doing your own thing. Maybe some of you guys sacrificed a part of your path to your ex or something, and that you don't want to ever happen again. So you have this kind of fire under your belly to comfort, nurture, and protect yourself and not have a romantic partner do it for you. But wow, there's a lot going on here of you taking charge of your situation and being damn proud of it, and doing all of it to protect yourself. And I cannot stress that enough. Pile 2. Oh, I forgot a card here. Pile 2. Part of your self-care for the year is a suggestion from Spirit to make meals. So maybe this is a way to, I don't think it's to save money. I think it's to also be even more in charge of your situation, is making your own meals, learning how to make different foods, to prepare different recipes, to save or have a recipe book and go to your favorite foods and meals and dinners and lunch and breakfasts. Like, there's something, going on here where you will see your cooking skills kind of flourish in 2023. You're going to broaden and expand your palate, and you're probably going to prefer making meals at home rather than going out, which could be a huge lifestyle shift for some of you that you're really proud of, that you're learning how to cook and you're enjoying the food you make, and that is just a huge part of your hobbies or passions coming through, and just, I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of a subplot to everything for 2023, but I see you being very proud of it and very excited about it and moving forward, and I just think it's so interesting. The self-care card here is make a meal, because I feel like that is the most independent thing that could be suggested from this deck, other than one thing I'm thinking of and I don't want to mention it. It's not really relevant, but like, I just think that it just makes sense. Pile 2, it makes so much sense. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for 2023 for you guys, and I don't want to ramble on anymore because I don't want to be a broken record, but let's do charms. Again, like I said, this idea is not originally from me. I know there's a lot of people that practice charm readings, and this idea directly is from Charmed Intuition. I absolutely love her page. I will link her below. I watch all of her videos all the time. She's such an inspiration. So let's see what 2023 has to offer in charms to further connect with the reading, to further develop the reading here and understand what's going on. I'm gonna do this. Okay. We have B, G. A lot of the letters here could be connected to your name or some significant people in your life, perhaps, or maybe it spells out a word. We have big here. We have big. We have O. We have A. There's more over here. We have a lot of letters. We have gay. We have Y. We have X. Sorry, oh gosh, there's so many. We have L. We have lab. Maybe some of you guys work in a lab. We have G again, so 2 G's. Oh, let's see here. We have E, which spells out X. Some of you definitely have to be getting over an X. And I think we also have I, so we have 2 I's, and we have another B. Wow, lots of letters for pile 2. Yeah, so there's all that there. And the charms we have here are very interesting. We have the 6. We have the moon charm. We have Aries, the ram. We have not 1, but we have 2 Pisces. That's interesting. Maybe some of you guys are Pisces or have really big Pisces placements. Maybe your ex was a Pisces. We have the Taurus charm as well. Maybe some of you are a Taurus, or maybe have big Taurus energy. But this card is interesting. Not card, this charm. This charm to me establishes institutions or buildings. So some of you could be wanting to own your own house. Like that is your goal, or owning your own apartment. There's something going on here where you want to be owning of some kind of property. Maybe that's your goal, like as a side hustle. Like I know a lot of people have Airbnbs that they rent out. Like they have properties that they rent out to people, whether it's through Airbnbs or just renting out something in general to people. So keep that in mind. The 2 Pisces thing is very interesting to me. Maybe some of you have a Pisces sun or rising. And the moon charm is so interesting as well. This one to me, I wanted to signify kind of late nights. Because there's another charm in here that I wanted to be dedicated to lots of dreams, lots of spiritual connections through dreams, and sleep patterns being positive. But maybe some of you guys are working very late into the night. There's something going on here where late nights are important. Maybe you're working late. Maybe you have multiple jobs and you're trying to save money, and you're working a lot. Maybe you're working night shift in 2023, pile 2. But I think that's interesting. And with the dice here for 6, this could indicate that the number 6 is important for you this year. Maybe this could also indicate that the 6th month of 2023 is important, which is June. So maybe June is important for you guys, but I thought June was important for pile 1. I felt like for you guys it was more late September or late August, early September timing, but maybe June is important too, or just the number 6 or something about the 6th of something is important. But yeah, I know you guys can like look and try and maybe some of these resonate with you. Maybe there's a word here that is made like leg that's important for you. I don't know. I would just take it as is. I know it kind of, I have my name spelled. We have A-B-B-Y, which is interesting. Maybe some of you are named Abby too. I don't know. I would love to hear from you guys on how this resonates. This is my first time incorporating charms like this into a video, a longer video format that's definitely more general than personalized. But yeah, maybe some of you guys are Aries rising with a Cancer moon or something like that. Aries sun, Cancer moon, maybe Taurus sun, Cancer moon, Taurus rising. And owning your own home is one of your goals, owning property to rent out, something like that. But pile 2, I really hope that this resonated with you. I would love to, again, hear from you in the comments. If you haven't liked this video, subscribe. I do have personal readings. They are open as always. And I do a lot of cool things over on Patreon, which I do have shut down for January, but I am going to reopen for February. I took a little bit of a break there. But yeah, I look forward to doing this again with you. All right, pile 3, let's see what 2023 has to offer for you. Again, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We have my tarot cards here. I will be shuffling in a few seconds to figure out what your kind of the whole theme of 2023 is going to be for you. And then I do have the pre-shuffled oracle cards that we will be looking at and adding to the main message here. So yeah, we have the original deck here, nothing crazy. I'm excited to see what your pile has to say in conjunction to piles 1 and 2, who I feel like had 2 very different kind of messages, so I'm excited to see. We have Queen of Wands Queen of Wands in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the Strength card upright. What can pile 3 expect in 2023? Okay. We have the King of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, interesting, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so a lot of reverse energy here, pile 3, but that doesn't necessarily mean negative things all the time, nor does it ever indicate truly a negative situation, but rather a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of unbalance for you guys in 2023, pile 3, I'm not gonna lie. Specifically when it comes to communicating, maybe you have a hard time communicating your needs, your wants, or maybe communicating how you feel, and and that's going to be a really big thing, is gaining some sort of confidence or strength to communicate about something. Maybe this is communicating to parents. Maybe some of you are having a rough time with parental kind of parameters, or the relationship with your parents are a little bit off. Maybe for some of you, again, this is a very broad reading, so take what resonates, could have an issue with a best friend that's more feminine, or you could have a hard time with a partner that's more masculine. And again, it could be a combination of all these if in general in 2023 you're just simply having a hard time communicating yourself and trying to figure out what the issue is. Because there just seems to be this unbalance thing going on here, whether this has to do with money, resources, feeling content, what you want. There's just this energy of being really off in 2023 and trying to work through it and be more honest and more, I feel like I'm not saying take responsibility, but holding yourself accountable could be a really big thing in 2023 for you. To the point where I think it's going to take a lot of strength to do so. I'm not trying to paint 2023 as this totally negative year, because that's not what I think this is going to be. But rather, I think that it's going to be a lot of reconstructing of thoughts and reconstructing of habits. So let's see what our Jane Austen card has to say here. Okay, we have the Six of Hearts, which is the Lovers in reverse. And I think this has to do with connections. So maybe you and a romantic partner are just totally off in 2023 if you are with somebody. If you are single, this could maybe indicate somebody coming in and leaving rather quickly. Or if you are single, I feel like it's more of this what I'm about to say. I think that this is about feeling really far behind in life because you're not with somebody romantically. You could be viewing yourself and comparing yourself to other people your age who are engaged or married or having a kid and they have a house, or there's some kind of stability that you're seeing on the surface of other people with their milestones with a partner that you don't have because you're single. And I think that could be something that really affects your mental health in 2023 or your self-image in 2023. And that could be where a lot of things are coming from. It's like you're feeling behind, which is causing this restlessness and unbalance of activities and feelings and thoughts, and just that's a very interesting card there. I want to see what the next one says. We have nostalgia. It says focus on the here and now. So in 2023, there could just be this need to really come back down to earth and not be so overthinking what you're going to do next, or like feeling, I guess you could say that's in connection to feeling behind, pile 3. It's just like needing to remind yourself that it's more important to just do what you're doing now and focusing on what you're doing rather than what you're not doing or what you haven't done yet, or like what you still need to do if you're looking at this in like a milestone sense. Not saying that you are behind, but rather that you're thinking you're behind and you're not paying attention to the close connections in your life, like family, like parents, like your like best friends, or like I don't know. There's just this energy here where like you're so disconnected, and maybe parental figures are noticing, maybe a best friend is noticing that's more feminine, and you're kind of just out in the clouds in 2023, and a lot of it needs to come back down to earth. And I think that's why there's this importance to have strength to maybe admit maybe negative thoughts or negative habits that are just unhealthy and you want to change, or like that you're feeling really lost and you just feel unbalanced and behind. There's just this need to communicate these feelings just more better, I guess. I want to pull these cards to kind of aid or supplement the general themes here. We have House 10 with the owl here. We have structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. Okay. And we have House 9, spiritual growth. So if I haven't made this very prominent yet, pile 3 in 2023, you are going to be growing spiritually, and it could be pretty hard at first, or hard to grasp, or hard to admit, but there's a lot of lifestyle changes I see happening that are going to be more healthy and beneficial to you, and I think that happens once you open up and communicate. I think there needs to be more structure in your life. I think there needs to be more self-discipline. And I think that you need to be reminded of the accomplishments you already have in your career path, and that you aren't behind, and that your life mission isn't to be exactly where everyone else is. And a lot of this is just going to be aiding this overall spiritual growth and mindset shifts, and just really truly working on yourself at the core. So I don't really see career being on the forefront or romance, but more so just you as an individual and your mindset and your belief system and the way that you talk to yourself and the way that you compare yourself to other people and your milestones, and just totally neglecting and putting down what you have already accomplished because you're just so focused on what to do next. Or, you know, so-and-so with who you graduated with 2 years ago is already married and has a kid, and, you know, is like the CEO of their company. Like, I know that's just dramatized, but like, I just feel like there's this need to like be like, whoa, take a deep breath and realize that you are on your own path in 2023, pile 3, and this is something you need to come back to. You need to ground yourself, focus on the here and now, and not be so in the clouds and overthinking. And just, I know that's a lot easier said than done, but self-care is going to be on the forefront so you can reconnect with people like family, reconnect with your best friend figure, whoever that is, and just have so much more structure in your life. I don't know, pile 3, if you feel like you have destructive behaviors. I don't know what this is. It's going to be different, completely different for everyone. But this could be just self-sabotaging behavior. You know what you're doing isn't healthy, but you keep doing it over and over again because you're bored, or you're trying to distract yourself, or get your, I don't know, this could be like more recreational things like drinking, smoking, deep diving yourself into just scrolling online for hours and hours and never really doing the productive things to make yourself feel better. But there's a lot of restructuring your viewpoints, your mission, your goals, all of that, okay? We have this is a mouthful, Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. It says, protects you in time of change, a time of rapid transition and transformation, relax, you are safe. So maybe, I'm gonna put this out there for pile 3, maybe some of you are going through a lot of changes. Maybe some of you are graduating high school, some of you are graduating college this year in 2023, and maybe this is what triggers that feeling of being behind. Maybe you're already feeling about that way in sort of like an anticipatory way of like, oh my gosh, I graduate this year. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I'm gonna do moving forward. Like, I'm so behind already. You have to understand that you are protected in a way that change and transformations are normal, and you are exactly where you need to be right now. There needs to be so much less of this self-destructive or self-negative thought patterns about what you're doing. The change that you're experiencing is going to come fast, maybe faster than you're hoping for or wanting, but it's going to happen. And this is kind of a suggestion from Spirit to understand that you need to relax and know that you are safe, and things that you want to happen will happen with time. It's just, you can't expect everything to be so perfect right away, or just, I just get the feeling, pile 3, that you're just, even if you had all the things that you're talking about, you would still have this emptiness to your life because you're just so hyper fixated on what's next, that even if you had what you thought was next, you're going to be hyper focused on the next thing, the next thing. If that makes sense. Like if you already had a stable job and that's what you're wanting right now, like you're like, oh gosh, I need to get that 9 to 5, I need to get like an 80K salary, I need to get a good salary to live, and that's all you're focusing on. Let's say you already had that. You would think that would make you happy, but it doesn't, because you're just so focused on the next thing. Like, oh gosh, now I need to get married, I need to settle down, I need to have a kid. Like, whoa, there needs to be this slowing down of this mindset. There needs to be this restructuring of this mindset. We also have, this is a funny card, the platypus card. Perry, what are you doing here? That was such a bad joke. From Phineas and Ferb. Okay, so platypus. Stop complaining and focusing your attention on the blessings in your life. And I know this is kind of like the crybaby card. I'm not calling you guys crybabies, but that's kind of the energy of this card. It's saying to stop worrying and stop feeling sorry for yourself for the things you haven't accomplished yet, because you're just ignoring the good things you have going on. And I know that sounds pretty cheesy, but there is this need to appreciate what you have now, more so than you think that you are. And I think this has to do with personal connections. I think this has to do with, you know, maybe that best friend figure that you've been neglecting or just haven't been very present in. Maybe it has to do with parental figures, maybe family in general. There needs to be this energy where you're focusing more about what you have versus what you don't. And I am going to sound like a broken record when I say that, but it's so true. Now, I do have some cards here that are romance and career and stuff. So our career ones, we have the protected card, which is interesting because that's literally the energy of this one here where it says you're protected. This says you are safe and supported while you change your career. So some of you could be going through a change, but I don't really think that this means like you're changing a complete like path. I have a feeling, pile 3, that this just means that you are changing. I really would be shocked, pile 3, if you weren't graduating from high school or graduating from college or graduating from your master's program, something where it's like, oh crap, I really gotta start working, and like I have this real life responsibility now where it's just like, oh my gosh. And I think that that's what this year is going to be about for you, is understanding that you are going to be safe and you're going to have what you need when you go through this transformation and these changes connected to your path. Because the other card here for your career, we have environmentalist. You were born to protect, nurture, and teach others about animals and nature. So maybe some of you are in the vet field, veterinarians. Maybe you're graduating from vet school this year. Maybe you are in environmental science, graduating with your bachelor's in that. And again, this is a very general reading, so I'm not expecting everybody to have a connection to this card in particular. But for some of you, you need to hear that you are doing what you are supposed to be doing when it comes to that. Even if it's stressful, even if it's like, oh my gosh, I have to actually start applying my knowledge to a career path here, and that's scary. You have what it takes. So take that as you will. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. I just really feel like for some of you, you are meant to be working with animals or with nature in some capacity, and that will be coming into play here in 2023. Now, the romance cards I think are interesting. I just turned them over. We have the finances and career card, which says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, but this card also signifies to me that career matters are on the forefront and kind of take over your romantic interests or possibilities. So that's why I feel like a lot of you guys are not going to be entering a relationship this year in 2023, pile 3, but I think that for some reason you're going to be making like an active self-choice to ignore romance because you think it's more important for career stuff, but like also not being satisfied with your career, and you should be getting with somebody because you think that that's the milestone. And it's very conflicting. Like it's like you ignore romance, but you know that you want to be married at some point. You're like, this milestone's coming up and I should be married by this age, and I'm not. Like, that's so I'm such a disgrace. Like, no one likes me, no one's ever gonna love me. Like that kind of energy where you're kind of doing it to yourself in a way because you're shutting out romance. Because the other card here we have is this could be the one. So pile 3, some of you in 2023 could meet somebody. Maybe you've already met them in 2022 and they're kind of lingering in 2023 still, where you don't enter an official relationship with them. Maybe you're physically intimate with each other, maybe you're emotionally intimate with each other, but you push them away. You don't let them in because you're not focusing on romance. You're not letting yourself focus on romance because you want to focus on building your career and going forward with things. And through this transformation, maybe you're like, well, I'm graduating college this year, I really don't want to be dating anyone. But then on the other side, you're like, oh, I should be with somebody by this age. Like, there's so many people that are married and having kids, I'm behind. Like, it's such a weird conflicting feeling here, because this card indicates that, like, you know, whoever this is, and I hope that this is resonating for most of you, you guys would work out really well together. You guys work together well. It's just you're hesitating to get into that official relationship, and I see you being very stubborn about that. I would not be surprised if some of you guys are Taurus or earth signs mixed with fire. There's just this energy here of like, I don't know, like you know that this would work, but you're just stubborn and you don't want to focus on it, and like that's fine, but you're just furthering yourself down that rabbit hole of feeling sorry for yourself, but also just you're creating that mindset of being behind because you're not letting yourself do it. So I will leave that there. I'm excited to see what the charms have to say. But our last card here in general for 2023 for some kind of self-care suggestion, we have movement. Now this could mean a lot of different things, pile 3. This could be yoga. This could be walking every day. This could be stretching. This could be more advanced movements like kickboxing classes or karate. Or taekwondo. Like there's something going on here where it's like focusing on a movement and a more, not just like going for a run, but like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels very connected to the mind, like you have power over what you're doing. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I think that there needs to be some kind of outlet for you when it comes to moving your body. And I really feel like it's Pilates, maybe, yoga, stretching, taekwondo, boxing, something like that, like where it's I don't know, I hope I'm making sense when I say that it's like more of a mind control thing where you're focusing on your direct movement and it's not just like you're lifting weights. It feels very, I don't know, spiritual maybe for you, and maybe that's connected to the whole spiritual growth. Maybe whatever this energy outlet you have for self-care of moving your body helps and aids that spiritual and mindset shift I see happening at some point. But I do see this being very important for your self-growth in 2023. So pile 3, whew, that was a doozy. I want to do the charms now, and I will repeat this again, that these charms, a lot of people use charms for readings, but this is directly inspired by Charmed Intuition, who has a YouTube channel on here. I love her so much. Even before I started doing tarot readings, I watched her all the time, and she gave me this idea, and I'm very excited to finally be kind of implementing it here. So again, this is general, take as you want. OP, I wonder if that's Pilates. There's going to be a lot of different readings for people watching this reading. So I feel like take what resonates. And of course, there's gonna be, oh my gosh, you guys have so many letters. All right, we're gonna go with this. Okay, so take what resonates here. We have the coral one, which is interesting. We have the hearts. Pile 1 had this one as well. We have the other sort of charm, the key charm here. We have the ribbon. We also have the, I believe, this is the Aquarius charm. So maybe some of you have important Aquarius placements. So we have L, we have 2 E's, we have Y, we have P, we have another P, we have Z, F, 2 F's, another E, so 3 E's, B, oh my gosh, we have 4 E's, we have another A, and Y. So take what resonates with this. You guys can pause this and maybe see some words that are spelled out with the letters we have here. But these charms are very interesting to me. Oh, we also have more over here. We have the number 1, and then we have another L. So take what resonates here. Maybe this spells out a word for you that's important or signifies something, or maybe a name that's important. But let me go over some of the charms here. So similar to pile 1, this is interesting. There's, again, somebody in your love life that you are very intertwined with, but you're not letting them in. You're not letting them have an official relationship with you, and you completely block them out, even though you had that physical intimacy or the emotional intimacy, and that's all on you. I'm not trying to call you out, pile 3, but you're really pushing somebody away when you could be working very well together. And I think you have a lot of, like, the chemistry between you two. It's just, it's so intertwined. This could be the one card. It just, like, you could have this superficial relationship with them, but you continuously shut them out. Now with the ribbon card here, this could mean, again, you could be accomplishing something this year, or you're being recognized for some sort of accomplishment, which again would make sense if some of you are graduating college or graduating high school or moving forward in some kind of aspect where you should be celebrating it, but you're not, because you're just so focused on the next step that you're just like, you're totally ignoring this accomplishment. Now this one, I do think that's the Aquarius charm. So like I said, some of you could be an Aquarius, or somebody with an Aquarius placement could be very important to you. Maybe that's who this is about, perhaps. They could have an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising, maybe Venus. Now this charm, this is the one, if you look at it, I know it's kind of hard to see with my lighting a little bit, but to me, this might sound weird, but it reminds me of like a ship, like a ship, how do I say this, like a window on a ship, and you're looking out and you see coral. I know that sounds so weird, but to me, this signifies like watching your life, this sounds so weird, but hear me out, watching your life pass you, and not stopping to like appreciate the beauty, which I think makes sense with the whole focus on the here and now message of your reading that you already got. I think there needs to be more of a connection to where you are right now, instead of focusing so much on the next thing or what already happened, or, you know, just, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there needs to be more accomplishments happening, and appreciating the accomplishments and acknowledging success now instead of being so hyper focused on the next step. Now this key, I have different keys in here that mean different things to me, but this one's interesting because it has the 2 hearts on the top of it, if you see that at all. It's the smaller key. I just cannot stress enough how you already know the key to your heart, or the thing that's making you happy. Maybe this is that person, like I said. And you're not letting yourself experience that happiness with love because you're afraid of getting official. You're afraid of having that deep commitment. You're afraid of focusing on love rather than career, even though you beat yourself up for not being in a relationship compared to other people. There's just this energy. Sorry, my camera kind of went out. I don't know when that went out, but I feel like for some reason there is this energy here of being afraid that you already know the key to your heart. You already know the person that makes you really happy, and you know it's very mutual, but you're on the same page, but you're not letting them in. You're not letting them have a relationship with you. You're not letting them express feelings for you, the deeper kind, the I love you. Oh gosh, I didn't even see this over here. We have another letter, we have W. But there's just this energy here of not letting yourself be happy. I don't know if this is self-sabotage, but there's something going on here where you need to be in 2023 a little bit more compassionate with yourself when it comes to being open with love and letting this person in, because I think you already know who they are. And if not, it's going to be happening in the next 3 months. It's going to be happening very soon, pile 3, if you don't know who I'm talking about. But dang, I really hope this reading resonated with you. I think there's a lot to learn on pile 3 when we go through 2023, and to keep in mind as well. There's a lot to keep in mind. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear in the comments. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I do personal readings, so if you want more of a personal reading for you on how 2023 will be, go ahead. I have a 6-month projection reading that might be perfect, but otherwise I look forward to seeing you again.